our working day. Now we're going to talk about NIS Enterprise Fund. It provides 50,000 to the development of electronic public procurement system, ProZorro. Speakers include Yaroslava Johnson, President of Wnisef's Fund, Iryna Ozymok, Program Manager of the Local Economic Development Program of Wnisef, Olexandr Starodubtsev, Director of Public Procurement Regulation, Andriy Kucherenko, IT Project Coordinator ProZorro, and Olexiy Hmara, Executive Director of Transparency. My name is Yaroslava Johnson. I am Executive Director of the Western NIS Enterprise Fund. We are providing grant $50,000 for the development of electronic public procurement, transparent procurement, ProZorro. This is a unique example of the quality transformations allowing the efforts and the activities of and some initiatives are now required for Ukraine and the government Ukraine, and they undertake their joint responsibility for introduction to reforms. Iryna will tell you more about this program of ours. Good afternoon. Our fund, just the local economic development, which fits in the framework of our program, because it really helps to save the public funds, which are much required by the state, not for the corruption, but introduce some other infrastructural, social, and other, or implement other projects. So we are very happy to understand that this initiative, this project, is actually the initiative of the those people who actually did not wait until the state does something, and they came up with their initiative supported by the state. Unfortunately, Ukraine, up to this date, there are a lot of cases when the prices for those procurement are very high and not justified. And since this is the transparent and open system of the public procurement, which allows for a very healthy competition, the price become competitive as well. In addition to that, I can add a few words regarding our program. This is we really find interesting such initiatives because the technical assistance and the support on the part of the state, those initiatives are quite a few, but we would like to help the civil society for them to propose their decisions regarding implementation of reforms and maybe sometimes exert some pressure. My name is Andriy Kucherenko, one of the ProZorro project coordinators. A few words what this project is all about. First of all, we are talking about the electronic system of the public procurement, which we have to implement. Well, actually, all the public procurements of Ukraine will be carried out through. This is now this kind of pilot project, pre-threshold the tenders or the auctions. You can see the system consists of the central block and the private platforms. We started to productively use the system in February of this year, and we already achieved quite positive results, and it's high time to develop further. Some of the projects were financed by the private platforms participants in our project, and we actually achieved the first results. But in fact, it becomes more and more difficult to work on some kind of voluntary basis. Further on, that's why we do appreciate the efforts of the Western NIS Enterprise Fund. They lend us a hand, because I repeat myself, it becomes very difficult to work on the voluntary basis only. And we do hope that with their help we can move forward much faster. My name is Olexandr Starodubtsev. I'm Director of the Department of Regulation of the Public Procurement. Previously was coordinator of the ProZorro initiative. I personally am really happy that the ProZorro system became an official platform for piloting the electronic procurement in Ukraine, and the Department of Procurement of the Ministry of Economics do not have to select what system should be taken as a basis, because this system already justified itself, and I am absolutely positive that till the end of this pilot project we'll get the results we plan to achieve. A few words about the public procurement. It's about 220 billion hryvnia turnover. Some of them are going through tenders, some not. 25,000 tender commissions dealing with that, starting with some kind of local hospital, Transcarpathia, all the way up to the Minister of Finance. This is a very distributive system. When I'm talking about approximately 250 billion hryvnia to approximately 25,000 committees, because the system existing today does not allow us to do what we have to do. That's why we have this kind of ProZorro initiative or project. We started this work about 1 year ago, eight months ago, because we have to introduce a normal electronic system with a single electronic database, which was mentioned by Andriy. Not only us, not only the law enforcement agencies will have an access to that, but anybody who wishes that, and will find their information, who, what or purchase was from who, what was the price, etc., etc. In other words, all the information which is required to see and make sure that everything was done properly without any corruption. In the Ministry of Economics, we believe that in order to combat corruption in the public procurement, we should not increase or strengthen the public regulation, because this is not efficient. The best monitoring would be provided by the competitor who participates in this auction. You will find this information, see whether that proposal was the best proposal. And it would be nice, that the quality of the procurement will be monitored by the end user. When you look out the window and see the road where only the tanks can go, and with 3 clicks you can enter the system and see which company becomes the winner of the tender, who is taking care of building this road, how much it costed, so on and so forth. This will actually push us to provide more monitoring, more analyze better the procurement. This is our money, our country, and nobody but we can do something about that. Not a single public agency can do that better than we do. And we'll see that similar systems in the world, they cost millions upon millions of dollars, and we are going to do that much cheaper. And we actually spent $35,000 for the ProZorro system spent by the private platforms and sites. We do appreciate the money provided by the Western NIS Enterprise Fund, because they allow us to move ahead. Also, we approached many world donors, World Bank, BRD, and CD, because, of course, I'm sure that we won't have millions of dollars, but anyway, we need the money to develop in the world with this system. That's why the ProZorro faces a lot of work to do whatever is necessary and to report about our work and to demonstrate that those efforts were not futile. We work a lot with our legislation, and we already provided or submitted the project regarding the strategy, which was the National Council reforms, when we submitted first of our first draft laws, and it moves quite good, quite well, and they actually now it passed through the first reading. My colleague now in the council does everything possible in order for this law to be adopted in the first reading. So we have a lot of work ahead of us. I may only wish all the success to us. My name is Olexiy Hmara. I represent here Transparency International in Ukraine, public organization which tries to stop the level of corruption in Ukraine, and to try to follow what's being done in the realm of procurement. We have a very honorable mission today. If you remember, a very respected institution, which is called Western NIS Enterprise Fund, is prepared to invest for $50,000 into electronic procurement system to make us to have for us to approach, which allows to do 3K. We are talking about the competition. Michael said that this is a pilot initiative, and we are talking about the pre-threshold auctions. But we have 3 and more participants per each item of procurement. And I must tell you that there are only a few official public tenders which have 2 participants or bidders. And this is absolutely transparent. We can follow this. We can actually see what kind of result we expect. Also, we control this process of procurement. When we can see everything on the internet, the bidders, their proposals, their bids, you can understand well what they wish, what is this all about, and what could be the result. We are talking about that. Each of them monitor the system, so the ProZorro system allows us to do that.
Because we see each other online and quite qualified results, and they provide not just the something cheapest, but of that quality that could be bought and during regular purchase, but with better effects. And the system is used in the Ministry of Defense, not just a pilot, but a special procedure for a certain type of procurements. And we see that their economy was from 8% at the beginning up to 21% now. So every 5th revenue from 5 is saved because of such a system. If we speak about the importance in general, when 3 months ago it was launched and when it was used more or less all the time, and we saw how many procurements were finished, and there were 20 on the point of report, and now we have more than about 200, and geometrically will grow, and the system remounts investments, and how timely you give us the money, and because of you, we can guarantee results. If not 25,000 of all those who order services, but all those pilots that joined and who like to cooperate with us, and I will tell you who they are. The Council of Reforms by the President of Ukraine, all the ministers and top deputies, all experts who know different reforms, they got together, and they, in consensus, they said all central bodies of power, all the ministries, state agencies, big state enterprises, and other specialized organizations, for example, in Kiev, Kiev Metropolitan, and other institutions, they join this. And this is a great number of organizations with billions, and Atom, and they produce nuclear energy or state enterprise by the president. All those organizations in pilot, they use the system of ProZorro, and the money invested over here, they will help us to do 3 important changes. First of all, we'll be able finally to have an e-system of appealing results for people in case they disagree what they got in the end, for them to be able to appeal, to see the results, etc. Because at present, the only alternative on the two is to go to a court, and which is, takes a lot of time, not practical, to go and polling committee, and corruption is very difficult. The second change, backups or reserve copies, or the more reliable chance of using the system. Those who are in the social networks, even here, you probably know that if you want the social network to be stable, the whole number of data centers serve for it. We need data centers over the system ProZorro, which we can use because of that money. And one more innovation, because of you, colleagues, we will be able to pay a little bit to people who, as volunteers, developing the system. That's wonderful. They do it and pro bono, free of charge. But we need but people need to eat, and since not all of them are mobilized, so let's pay something for their work. So, colleagues, because of you, all of that can happen. And thank you very much that we do it together. Thank you. Thank you, Olexiy, and thank you, dear colleagues. If you can summarize, if not, we move to questions. If there's any question or comments of journalists. If not, then thank you very much. Everything was clear. Thank you again to the fund, and we wish success to the new system of state procurement. So we hope to see again and how it works with the state procurement center. We are done with our presentation. Our next one it will be at 4 o'clock. Thank you very much.